Hey, I'm Meg. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a first impression of the Unearthly Cosmetics Spring Magic palette. I am just absolutely ecstatic that I have this in my hands. I have not gotten a new Unearthly Cosmetics release since the Devour collection. I've had to kind of unfortunately skip over some releases just due to timing and stuff. So I am so happy to be playing with something brand new from them again. I just absolutely adore the brand. They are my absolute favorite brand. And every time they release something, it is just an absolute banger. I'm always obsessed. So this isn't really like a review. It really is just a first impression. Let's play with it for the first time together and get some inspiration. But yeah, if you're interested in that, then stay tuned. So the brand is always really amazing at doing like their packaging, like not only just like when it comes down to like the artwork that they get curated for their packaging, because one, on that note, if you don't know, they're always really amazing at working with artists to create the packaging for their products, palettes in particular. So it's just really amazing seeing the artwork that they come up with and have done for that. But on top of it, also just like the way they package stuff, you just know that your products, like eyeshadow palettes in particular, are going to come secure. Like I would be shocked if something came broken from them. But yeah, so this is the package, like the box that the palette, like if you order the palette, comes in. I only got the palette. It was already sold out, and then I knew already I wasn't going to be able to get like the whole collection, but the palette was the thing I was most excited about anyways. But it comes in this box, and then you open it up and it's got like the foam, and then it's got the palette inside. This is just the unicarton now. I've already taken the palette out, but it's got the unicarton, which is the same packaging, and then the palette itself, which is also the same packaging. So everything is just so beautiful, well thought out, and just protected and safe. You know that you're not going to have to worry about broken shadows. So let's get into the actual palette. Here it is, if you have not already seen it. Very like spring tone, which, hey, it's called Spring Magic. That's the point. It's their spring palette. But I feel like they threw in some nice depth, and like it doesn't feel like it's a pastel palette. And there's a lot of depth. And then I just know that these shimmers, I haven't swatched them yet. I will insert swatches, but you can just already know that those shimmers are all going to be super sparkly and magical and just absolute gorgeousness on the eye. So as of right now, everything in the collection is still currently available on their website. It's always been available as like pre-orders. So they had a first round of pre-orders, and now they are on their second round of pre-orders. So they have the entire bundle available. They also have the eyeshadow palette, and then all the other parts separate as well. So there is a glowy blush palette, as well as a lip gloss and 2 liquid highlights. So each thing available separately. I believe the second pre-order is looking to ship about mid to end of May. For the eyeshadow palette itself, this was $109 Canadian, so you get what I mean when I say it was a bit costly, you know, worth every penny, but unfortunately that is why I can't get every release that Unearthly Cosmetics comes out with, just because being in Canada, it adds up so much, you know, and on top of it, I still had to pay duties, so it was even more expensive. So yeah, I'm so excited to have it, but alas, I could not get the entire bundle. But let's zoom you in and we'll get started on creating a look with this palette. All right, I think I decided what shades I want to play with first. So I think I want to go in definitely with like the blues, teals, like probably like this more like baby blue. And then I think I'm drawn to probably pulling in the shimmer, but who knows, we could change our minds during. But that's kind of where I am leaning towards. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be using those shades first, but I don't care. That's what I want to use. So I grabbed a Melt Cosmetics Amore Mariposa. I can't even read the name, but it's from their Amore Mariposa line. I don't even think you can get these anymore. But I'm going to jump into Thaw, just like the deep blue. Pick that up. We're just going to start putting that on the outer corner. Oh, gorgeous pigmentation, just like I'd expect from Unearthly Cosmetics. All right, then I'm going to take, this is a Luxie 231 small tapered blending. We're just going to take that and I'm going to jump into the shade here called Healer, just sort of like a nice mid-tone teal. Okay, and then grabbing a Unearthly Cosmetics A6, another blending brush, and we're gonna dip into this light kind of baby blue called Breezy. Start putting that on the inside and blending out. Okay, let's have some fun with some shimmers. I am going to take this shade here called Sunshine, which hopefully you'll have seen better in the swatches at this point, but it's this gorgeous like peachy pink with the most beautiful golden shift. Actually, I did a couple swatches on my hand. Hopefully this is obviously Sunshine. This is the shade Dragonfly. I was trying to decide what I wanted to use, but it just has such a beautiful shift. I adore shades like this, so I can't resist. I have to go with it. And I think it'll work really nicely with the tealy blue thing we got going on. All right, so I took that on the same brush that I applied my NYX glitter glue with, and I'm going to just start dragging that across the lid. I'll probably end up bringing the deeper shade in more once I have this laid down. So that is the shimmer. I'm going to take that same brush that we used for the deep blue called Thaw, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit more of the shadow, and I'm going to start stamping that kind of inwards, and then also on the edge there a little bit, just to make sure that it blends nicely. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Sunshine just on my finger, and we're just going to tap and go back and forth. And something just like that. Now for the lower lash, I went ahead and applied some liner. This is from KVD Beauty. It's technically one of their everlasting lip liners, but I have always just used it as an eyeliner because I just preferred the shade for that. It's in the shade Coven, but I think these themselves have been discontinued, so a nice bright kind of light purple I thought would be a nice pop. And then we're gonna go in, just grab a brush. This is, I have no idea, it has no name on it, but a kind of flat angled brush or like a flat definer brush would be great for this too. I thought it'd be fun to add like a little bit of green into like the lower lash. I'm sure that's nothing innovative when it comes to how people are using this, but I'm going that route as well. And I'm just gonna take this deep green here called Herbalist. Pick up some of that. And I'm going to tap it off, especially beyond the lower lash. I don't want it to fall all over my face. And we're just going to start to stamp that along the lower lash line. And then taking a small blending brush, this is a Morphe 506, just something small and fluffy. I'm going to go back into that light baby blue called Breezy, and we're just going to help blend out this green a little bit. I just want to add a little bit more of the dark blue just to the very outer corner, just to make sure there's enough depth there. Okay, and then taking a pencil brush, this is from e.l.f. Cosmetics, and I am going to take a little bit more glitter glue, just a little tinge, and I'm going to put it on my lower lash inner corner. And then we're going to go in, because when I swatched both of them, I knew I was going to have to use both. We're going to go with this shade here, Dragonfly. And I also just want to use as many shades as I can. And place that on the inner corner, going, like blending it into the lower lash line. All right. And then I'm going to try to wipe off that brush. And then for the absolute inner most corner, we're going to go in with this beautiful iridescent white, kind of goes like bluey kind of in tone here, called Clouds. And we're going to pick that up on that same pencil brush, and we're just going to stamp that on the inner corner. So sort of right in between where that Dragonfly and Sunshine shade are. All right, I think I'm gonna go like finish this off, which is mostly just putting on some mascara, lashes, and a lip, and I'll be right back with the finished look. All right, finished look. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Was it something super innovative? No, but I had fun just dipping in and playing with the palette and just seeing where the color story took me, and I love it. I am just super impressed, as always, with the pigmentation, blendability. That just doesn't surprise me when it comes to this brand. And just every time I play with shimmers from them, I'm just blown away by how sparkly and gorgeous. Like, it just seems like such a simple shade, but it just has such gorgeous shift and sparkle. Just all of them do. I love them. I love them. Anyways, that was my first look using the Spring Magic palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. It definitely won't be my last. I will either have more looks up on here, or also make sure to check me out on my other socials, Spooky Mama Glam on Instagram and TikTok, because I do tend to film like short form tutorials as like more looks and follow-ups on there as well. But yeah, that is it. I hope you enjoyed watching me play with this palette for the first time. If you had your eye on it or got it as well, or are waiting to get it, hopefully maybe this will give you some inspiration for just nice, colorful burst of spring look that you could do yourself. Oh, I guess just to finish off, details. On my lips, I also went with, from Unearthly Cosmetics, this is one of their satin liquid lips in the shade Dreamy. I'm not 100% sure if this is actually like available on their site, because this was part of their Valentine's like mystery box from last year, the Surrender collection. So I don't know if they ever actually like made the shades permanent. I would love it if they did, because it's such a beautiful, just creamy mid-tone brown that just goes with so much. So I love it. But that is what I paired on my lips, and then I went in with some Ione lashes. These ones say that they're I think they're the style Socialite, but I think I've had these kind of in my kind of pack of lashes for a while. But yeah, that's what we're wearing. Oh, and I also rocked some of my witchy earrings. These are from Darling Limited. I think, well, not I think, her shop is still closed. It's been closed since like late last year, because she's doing like they were moving and then just like renovating and stuff like that. So I'm hoping so much that they're gonna reopen, that she's gonna reopen shop soon, because you can get some amazing styles there. But she had this like witchy earring collection that she did, and I love them, and this felt like the perfect palette makeup look to rock them with. Anyways, hope you enjoyed watching this. I'd greatly appreciate if you give the video a like, comment down below, subscribe, and other than that, I will catch you on the next one. Bye!